What is happening, muchachos? Welcome back to the Sean Atwood channel with me, Ron Swanson, and the one and only Mr. Samson. How are you, sir? How are you this week?
What's up? How are you doing, Ron, little yum Swanson?
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, right? Ron's an interesting one, right?
Yeah.
Like when you self-assess, right? You know what I've been thinking about today?
What's that, Ron?
Ice baths.
You know what? I've been doing that at my gym a lot. They have a chair that does ice.
I want us all to think about how many times we've heard the word ice bath over the last, say, 18 months, right?
A lot.
It almost seems like it's come out of nowhere, right?
Joe Rogan.
We talk a lot about the movement that seems to be happening around the world, right? And obviously, there's the health sides that have been proven about ice baths and all of that, right?
Tell us about that a little bit. What are those?
No,
Do you know those health benefits?
Don't care. I'm not interested. For me,
okay. What is it
it's
about?
the ceremonial dunking, right? It's this plunging yourself into a contained element, which is this water, but it's a contained amount of it, right?
A cold baptism.
Hey, if you want, sure, go for that, right? So today, right, I had this moment. I was in the bath. I was washing like all the stuff out of my hair, went under, doing all that stuff. And I came up and just had one of the biggest epiphanies of my life. And it was cathartic, right? It was like a moment. And don't get me wrong. It was like a pretty bougie, it was a bougie bath. There was a lot of salts. It was good. Like it's helped my I passed out on the couch last night and woke up
amazing
in a position like this. Everything was messed up. But it was a moment, right? And then it got me wondering, is everybody who's having these ice baths and having these regular dunks in these contained elemental pools, shall we say, having almost moments of upgrades or
rebirth
or unknowingly tapping into things? And hey, it's a bit spiritual, it's a bit all over the place, but it got me thinking because there is a big awakening happening. And I wonder if people are drawn to these ice baths because it's something that we don't know is more than just the ice bath happening. Let's go with that. That makes me sound.
I like that. And are you filling up your bathtub with ice? Is that
no? I'm just having a regular bougie, cozy bath, right? And when I did in the dunk to wash my hair off, and I came up and had this epiphany, and then I realized. It's the dunking. It was so in the ocean different. It's vast, right? And you've not created this pool of element, which is water, right? And you're dunking yourself, and there's something there. I don't know what it is, but there's something there. And
you're saying it's not the ice, it's the dunking.
Yeah, no, the ice is definitely doing stuff too. All the sales pitches from all your freaking your personal trainers and all of that. Totally believe it. Totally with the health benefits, right? But this is not what I'm talking about, right? But I totally believe it, right? So there's been a lot of things that come out that have health benefits that people get into for a while and then they fizzle out. But ice baths seems to be one that everyone's jumped on. And I feel like it's because it's the first time collectively we have started filling buckets of water and sitting in them and plunging ourselves in. Because a lot of people have showers. maybe some people have baths and have had moments like I do. But I think for the ice plunging, a lot of people, that's their most repeated plunging in their life, as opposed to just, you know, having a shower.
I mean, unless we're talking about sex, and I like to plunge all the time.
Oh, mama. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it got me thinking. So that was my weird moment of the week. And I tell you what.
Are you going to start ice dipping, bathing?
I think, like, for me, once I sort the garden, so I've now finished the living room. I need to do a little bit of decorating and some aesthetics. Okay. But big new couch arrived. Awesome, right?
Nice. What kind of couch?
A big sort of gray corner L-shaped bad boy.
Okay, you know what I mean? I like that.
A nice one. A couch that just says, "Listen, man, I'm glad you're here. I know you've had a hard day. Come, come sit on, come relax.
Come sit on me, boy. Take a nap.
You're a bit tired. Don't worry. I've got that L shape. Get your legs up.
Oh, yeah. What do they call that? It's like the liaison. No, not the. What are they called? The chaise lounge, I believe.
Yeah, the Dr. Love corner.
Dr. Love, the talk to me. Tell me your problems. That is daddy fall asleep couch.
It's good. It's good times, right? But it also, it's good, right? But I accidentally bought it when I was drunk, and I thought there was another stage to the purchase.
Okay.
Basically, at 4 a.m. one night, bought the couch by accident, and here it is. So yeah.
Wow. Oh, I love that late night. Yeah, that's the best part about Amazon. Is it's almost like
Amazon. You're used to it. This wasn't Amazon, so that's why I was confused. Do you know what I mean? And it didn't say click to purchase. It said next. So I clicked next, and it was like, "Thank you for your order. Your order will be arriving on Tuesday." And I'm
like, "My God!" You're like, "Next?" Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a good one.
That's kind of cool. It's like you better like it at that point.
I did like it. It was all good. All good.
So how's the baby going, Ron?
Listen, man. I'll be honest. Dan went away to buy a car last week, and had to wait for paperwork to be sent. And our car that she had wasn't safe to drive back in, so she's been gone for about a week now. And your boy needs to tidy, right? For a start, your boy.
Wow, you got to clean it up. Is it? Do you have the baby with you, or did she take?
No, she took the baby, right? But listen, Samson,
you get a little break.
You got to understand what you're dealing with here. If I said to you, Samson, when you last bought a couch, what did you do with your old couch?
What did I do with the old couch? I had somebody come. I sold it on Facebook.
So you sold it. And someone came and got it. Did that happen before or after the new couch arrived?
That happened before because the couch is coming in. Yeah. So what did you do?
Your brain went, okay, big couch arriving. Need to sell old couch. Sold old couch. New couch arrived. But I broke mine into 2 pieces, and those 2 pieces are currently standing in my kitchen.
Oh wow!
Yeah, man.
So is that why your wife maybe left? Is she's like, get that freaking couch out of the kitchen?
She doesn't know that this has happened. So if she's watching right now, I love you. So tomorrow,
love is not going to be enough, Ron. Lil Yum Yum, she's gonna swallow you up, Lil Yum Yum.
Listen, Ron is the master of getting shit done, right? So,
good.
Like for example, I moved that, but in saying that, is this me being the master of something, or is this just me leaving shit to the last minute, and that's why I've got a couch?
That's what we do with ADHD. Yeah. But also, that's the difference of men and women is we can leave a couch broken into in the kitchen, still move around it like nothing's happening. Like, oh yeah, let me nudge that at the fridge. Yeah,
I've got one
woman would freak the fuck out. There's no way, no woman on earth could let that happen. That is such a man thing where my wife would be like, you could just, she's like, I'm going to stop cleaning because you would leave this house.
No, that's not how it would go in Scotland. It wouldn't be like, well, honey, I'm going to stop cleaning. It would be, those scenes in Braveheart where one of the Scottish swings a mallet and 4 people get sliced in half, right? One of those.
Oh, yeah. That's what she would do.
Well, she's West Coast. She's from Glasgow. She's West Coast as well. So,
Jesus,
they don't mess around. It's like the wildlings, when north of the wall, north of the wall.
Yeah, like they say, Latina women will kind of cut you or something. They always got maybe a little spiciness, but a Scottish woman she'll take the executioner's axe onto your head.
Think of Glaswegian women as the Latinas.
Glaswegian?
Yeah, think of Glaswegian women as the Latinas of Scotland. Like if you needed to know, Do you know what I'm saying?
Glaswegian.
Because they will mess you up. They will mess you up. Like, it's not even a joke. It's not even a joke thing. Like, all the horror stories that you've heard about psychos all stem from legendary tales from Glasgow women. Like, I've heard stories from Glasgow women, like what they've done if their boyfriend, like, and listen, I'm not saying cheating, people should cheat on their partners, right? No. But there certainly has to be a line of what an amicable amount of revenge is, because some crazy.
Some how did you just bleep that? What did you bleep?
I bleeped out using the C word.
Oh, got it. But don't you guys use...
Yeah, I can.
But don't you guys use the C word like you're saying, like cute?
Yeah. So when I was growing up, we had students that would fly over from other countries to go to college, and it would be like an excursion thing. So they'd stay for like a month, and they would stay with a family. And we always had some foreign students staying with us every now and again, and they were awesome, right? But we taught this one guy called Eric that how the F you doing, you C word, was a traditional Scottish greeting. So he went straight into college the next day, all really excited to test that out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had to write in a letter apologizing.
That's so funny. Somebody said, come lounge on me in the side chat. What does that mean?
What?
I just saw somebody said, come lounge on me. It says it raises your serotonin levels. Ice baths are great for desensitization. More like cold water therapy, build up to 5 to 10 minutes, -10 Celsius water. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Isn't it funny, though, how we don't know our own bodies? You would think we are like, you go to a mechanic and they know a car, they know how to change the oil, and they know every part of the car. This carburetor's out, this. How do we not know our own bodies? Like my fibula, my scapula, but this is, I'm feeling something here. It could be this. We know so little about our own bodies. What do you got for me?
I had that same thought a while ago. Why are we getting taught the things we're getting taught? Like, surely what all the bits inside me do, I should know all that. Right. Like, I should know.
Yeah, you don't have to be a doctor, but we should know our own body to a base level. Medulla oblongata.
Yeah, I don't mean like, oh, here, there's a module in 3rd year of high school. I mean, like, one of the forefronts should be, right, managing money, right?
Yep.
And everything that is going on with our bodies. Just in the nick of crime.
There he is, just in the nick of
time. There I am.
Can I just say to all the other Justins in the world, he got there first with that name. I mean, Justin, the nick of crime.
You know,
brilliant.
You know what's funny about the name is I actually was Justin on TikTok forever, and then my agent was like, "No, you can't do that. It's not going to help you with other platforms. So you need to find something." And so I kept it. It took forever to find a name that was available on all platforms, and this is what it was.
Dude,
same here, Justin. Secret Service Sam. I'm like, you know, I really found that too. I was like, oh,
just all the mums on Instagram who are got Instagrams for their kids and stuff, you can score Justin off the list of names because the best one's been taken, right? Justin, the nick of crime.
Well, I appreciate
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. That is a beautiful thing. But Justin,
yes,
how are you? Thank you for joining us today. I would love it if you could introduce yourself to our community, and just bring us into your world a little bit and tell us who you are, if you don't mind, if that's all right.
Yeah, no, I don't mind. Well, sir, thank you for having me. I appreciate you and Sam inviting me. So I am obviously a digital creator, focusing on true crime and current events. Actually, we're trying to rebrand true crime as real crime because there's real victims attached to it. But sometimes I go out of my niche and I talk about, toxic family, narcissism. That's how my account kind of started. I've written a few children's books. I'm actually working, Sam, I don't even think you know this. I'm actually working with Gabby Petito's mom on a children's book where Gabby will be the main person in it.
Oh, wow. No, that's cool.
What's your message in your kids' books? Like, what's your shtick on that?
So the 3 that I wrote, the first one's called Boundaries. And basically, 26% of Gen Z and millennials are no contact, limited contact with a family member, namely a parent. So this is a book that yeah, it's a pretty big number. This book helps explain to your kids why in a way that's easy for them to understand, doesn't vilify them, while at the same time teaching them what a conditional relationship is so they can hopefully avoid those, and teaching them how to set boundaries in a family. So that's what the first one is. The second book is called Surprises Are Okay, Secrets Are Not. It's kind of self-explanatory. Teaches kids that, surprises have end dates, like, a present, holiday present or birthday party or surprise, where secrets don't, and that adults should never, ever, ever be asking kids to keep a secret. And then my favorite part about
wait. What was the name of that book? What was the name of that one?
Surprises Are Okay, Secrets Are Not.
Right, mods. Can you get on Amazon or wherever? Where the hell can we get this book? Why are we not? We need to show this book.
So you can get it off Amazon. I normally, like, for Boundaries, I have copies right here, but the other books I've sold out of because I haven't reordered till I figure out what happens with TikTok. But it's on Amazon.
Can you think of a way to give me a link right now for people to buy a copy of their book and you to sign it and send it out? Is that a thing that's possible?
Yeah,
like just from the sales of this show, right, that are happening live. If you buy it, if you're watching this back and buy it, ain't happening. But that sounds like.
So I'll send you a link for it. You can get hardcover or soft cover. If going through Amazon does not go through me, so I can't sign it. The only ones that I have in stock that I can sign are Boundaries, which that's Boundaries there.
It just sounds
that's awesome. I see it. Here it is.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Actually, give us the overview. We'll need. I want to get you back for a full deep dive into this. Right?
Okay, so we can do that.
Let's keep it cool and let's make a big thing about that, because that is so on point with like
everything you do too, Ron.
Yeah, my whole shtick is infiltrating and exposing horrible humans that do terrible things to children.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
I just sent you the link, Ron, if you want to be able to post that.
Okay, well, do you know the video I sent you, Samson, on WhatsApp? Can you send that to Justin over WhatsApp? But Justin, don't share it, don't post it, just watch it, and you'll get an idea of what we're going for. But anyway, listen, it's Friday.
When we get off. Yeah, this is great.
It's Friday.
Happy Friday. Yeah.
And we're on a journey with Justin. So your books, take us beyond that. So what else, and what brought you to social media? And tell us your whole jam with that.
I mean, I don't think you have enough time for the whole jam, but I'll give you part of it. So I actually didn't start off with true crime and current events. I started off with toxic and narcissistic family. So I've been no contact with my mom. It'll be 6 years next month. And there's a pinned story on my TikTok that talks about it. But the long and short is my mom is a massive narcissist, not like throwing it out, like, oh, that person's no, she legitimately is very not good human. And when we told her we were expecting my daughter, she basically didn't want anything to do with us. And that was in her. She's never met her. My daughter's 5.5, never met her. And so I was kind of hurting when all this happened. And my wife was like, one day, she's like, you should just maybe make a TikTok. She's like, it won't go anywhere, but, might make you feel better just to kind of say it out loud and have it there. And so I did that. And I went to bed and I woke up with 45,000 followers. And then kind of
insane.
Kind of kept talking about it. And
were you putting that out there for the first time, Justin?
Yeah, I never intended to become like a social media I mean, I do this full time now, and I never intended for it to be a journey that I was going to go on, but it's kind of just what happened. And so I continued to share stories throughout my childhood, stories that my dad had from their marriage, her siblings had from growing up with her, all sorts of things. And then one day a case broke. Probably the first large case on social media, which is Gabby Petito. And my wife was like, you need to sit down and watch this. And it was when the Moab footage came out. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh my gosh, Brian Laundrie is exactly like the mannerisms, the way he speaks, the way he gaslights is exactly like my mom. It correlates with my content. Let me start talking about this. And I did, and then became one of the top creators covering Gabby. And, I've since become very, very good friends with her family. Her family they're literally the best humans you could possibly meet. Really, really good people. And I'm going to plug this for them. They have in the next few weeks a documentary coming out on Netflix that Netflix did with them. And then we actually have an exclusive. I'm working with a friend of mine who's a director out of Hollywood. We actually did, we're going to be launching a podcast called Real, REEL Victims. Its channel's already up on YouTube, but I haven't really been promoting it yet. Where we got Gabby's family to watch the movie that Lifetime made about them. without their permission, mind you. Like they just
Oh,
made
wow.
it, didn't consult them, just made it. And then we had them go through it and what's real, what's not. And the goal of this podcast is to basically take these larger crimes where movies have been made without the victim's permission or in a way that the victims or their families don't like it,
or not portrayed,
and expose Hollywood and try to make them a little bit better.
Do you believe in fate, Justin?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Do you believe that sometimes, for whatever reason, right, people are united out of nowhere? The internet's a fascinating tool, right?
100%.
Simply because I don't want to risk not connecting with you after this show, I'm going to play something that I wasn't planning on playing. That you coming in to this show at this time when something is about to happen, right? There's a big movement about to start, Justin, and I would love to see if you wanted to stand with that, because I think you are here for a reason. Anyway, right? Ron's a bit kooky, shall we say, Justin, right?
Well, he's in Scotland and it's much later than it is for us. But I wanted to ask you, Justin, how do you know when you have no contact with a family? You know, because sometimes, you know, I've been at points like that with family where I've gone from no contact, but then, you know, come back around to like, you know, come on, you know, it is my mom or it is my dad and they're not perfect, so I compartmentalize. But I guess, how do you know?
Yeah.
And maybe this is more obvious and I'm being naive, but how do you know that line of when, hey, maybe you should give it a shot or it is time for no contact?
Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to answer that with is I'll send you, Sam, just you know, text me your address. I'll send you a copy of Boundary, because even though it's a children's book, a lot of adults have gotten something out of it, which was the biggest surprise to me. Now, as far as the other part of which I think will help you understand some of what you're going through, you know, and without knowing your story, everybody's journey is different. Some people will never go no contact. Some people choose to do limited contact. Everybody's different, and you have to do what you feel is best for you and your family. There's no, I can't sit here and tell you what to do. But what I can say is, if whoever it is impacting your ability, you know, to be a good dad, be a good partner, you know, be who you are, or it's too painful to have that relationship, and there's more bad than good, then you might need to have a serious thought with yourself and conversation with yourself about what you need to do. Now, the other part of it too, which I think that you and I were not that different in age. I know that you're toward the tail end of Gen X and I'm at the very beginning of millennial. And we were all raised in a situation, the blood is thicker than water. It doesn't matter that they're your mom. It doesn't matter that they're your dad. They get to do it. And we're just, that idea is being dismantled. And I think Gen Z has really done a great job of showing us that we don't have to keep people in our lives just because they're related. Because if you wouldn't allow a complete stranger or a friend to treat you that way, why would you allow a family member, somebody supposed, especially a parent,
right?
You. It's in fact, they have even less of a pass, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, because it is that it's such a fine line you do with keeping, and then of course, you know, when you have kids and, you know, cousins, you know, nephews and nieces and all that, there's even more pressure in that sense to not have no contact. But it is interesting. Yeah, I mean, you're right. We were raised on that blood is thicker than water. And it's, it's funny. It raises a very good point of like, if a stranger or somebody else treated you like that, you would never talk to them again.
Or a friend, even if a friend did it.
Even a friend. Yeah. No, and I've had that. I've had to cut off friends before. You know, sometimes it's so hard. You think you know somebody so well and you can be friends with them for so long.
Yeah.
And then you get duped and you're like, you know, I was just thinking that the other day. I've had a couple experiences like that where, you know, I had people I was really close with, friends for a long time. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, how didn't I know he was this guy? You know what I mean? And it's, so sometimes it's being able to identify that, which is hard to do, but it is easier to cut off a friend than a brother, a sister, a mom, a dad, but you know.
I agree. And again, it's one of those things too that you have to, everybody's situation is different. Like what I've gone through is going to be different than what you've gone through, or what
a
lot of the listeners or watchers here have gone through. For my situation, my mom was very abusive. We'll just leave that at that for the moment. And then with my niece and nephew, my brother's kids, she very much favors the boy and very much treats the girl like she's a second-class citizen, and like locked her in closets, things like that. Same things that she did to my half sister, same things she did to us. And it's like, so I don't want to expose my kid to that. On top of that, my mom wouldn't stop speaking negatively about my wife. And, that's something too that I don't want to tolerate or have my kids see either, because, I have one daughter, and I want her to realize that she needs a partner, that if she decides that she wants a partner later in life, that stands up for her and doesn't, that's kind of what you have to do. And I just wasn't going to put my daughter through that kind of abuse that my niece do, what we went through, what my half sister went through. I just wasn't going to do it. And so, I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest with you on it, what happened was we told her we were expecting, and basically that's when she cut me off, actually. But the way that this would work, that was a common thing. The way that this would work is she would cut me off, I would grovel back, she'd come back, and I just didn't do it this time. I just didn't do it. And
she never,
no. And my daughter was born at 29 weeks. She was a preemie. Both my wife and her almost died. My mom knew about it. When we had the baby, I told my brother. So my mom knew about it, but never once heard from her. Not once.
Wow. That's terrible. I'm sorry.
It's brought us where we are today. It is what it is. And it spared my daughter, from that type of behavior. And that's what I'm saying. Every situation is different. So like if whoever you're referring to, or you have in mind, Sam, is somebody who is, mistreating your kids, mistreating your partner, mistreating you, especially that in front of them, then, you can start with boundaries before you go no contact. But here's the thing about people like that. When you set a boundary, they will be mad with you. They will be mad at you and try to gaslight you and guilt you for having that boundary.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. No, that's intense. I mean, that's, I think that's the part about it, is that you, I don't know. It's like, it's just bad behavior you can let go on for so long. And there's so many layers to it. But I do totally understand what you're saying, because I've had it at times where you could have something within your family, and I literally couldn't get off the couch, and those are times you realize, like, you really need to, those are times I've realized I have to set boundaries, because I was physically ill. Like, it doesn't happen often, but I've had those episodes. You'd fight with a family member, and I'm just on the couch depressed, and I didn't want to do anything. I couldn't move. I was just not motivated. That is when I was like, okay, I gotta set some fences around me, because this is affecting my life, my family, and this is not normal for me to feel this way. So
well, look, give us some ones in the side chat if you guys can relate to this toxic relative scenario. And Justin, your daughter being premature, it's such a horrifying situation. I lost one of my children who was premature.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I didn't know that.
And the toxicity you're talking about, I think when people like me, who the thought of that is so mortifying, right? Having a family member treat like your mother, for example, Justin, the examples you've given, I mean, I could not imagine how horrible, disappointing, let down, soul destroying, lost as a son, just those actions must have created such ripples for you. And so many, well, and again, Justin, but in ways, I cannot relate to that. And I just want to say, everyone in the side chat who's put ones in there, I'm glad that you have, because this is obviously something that affects so many people, and for somebody who is not affected by it, they're quite easy to sort of, okay, let's talk about this for a 10 minutes and then push it to the side and go on to the next topic. But I think hearing men, right, and yourself, Samson, obviously, and Justin, talking about feelings, opening up about things and how it affects them, and they want to take a stand against it, and they're not going to have it anymore. It's something that I believe the internet needs to see more of.
Agreed, especially for men.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say too, what I think is great about it, you made me think about with my daughter, Justin, is I realize I have to show her, and let me say this without people making it sound weird. I have to show her love, and then the way I show her love should translate to how a man will show her love. You know what I mean?
Like, not weird.
I get you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like in the way, in the way, I say goodnight to her at night, and the way I give her affection, and the way I compliment her and lift her up and teach her to be strong. All these things are something that eventually a partner takes over. Now, obviously, it's toxic when a man wants the wife to be his mother, or the woman wants, to be the father. But it's what I appreciate about what you've done. What's so important is some people will take them and be like, hey, well, you know what? My mom put me in a closet. That's too bad. That's how it works. Or you say, Jesus, that was so traumatic. I will never let my daughter, or a child go through that. And I think that's the most important thing I realize is learning from it. And as fathers, it's on us to show our daughters what love should look like, so they're able to recognize it when choosing a partner. Because I realize a big thing we all miss is identifying love. When he fucking tells you, you look like shit. Yeah, you're fucking ugly. I could have. And then, oh, baby, no, I love you. It's identifying, that. So
I've had 7 children, right? 6 of them are still with us. 4 of them are my wonderful girls, and they're aged between 5 weeks and 23 years, right? Dang. So the spectrum of, I was there for my eldest when she had her first time of the month. She was with me at the time, and it happened. And there's so many things as dads, right, that we instill in our daughters. But I'm not going to lie, I'm raising little savage shield maidens. Like, my eldest daughter does me proud with how she handles anyone that gives her any kind of crap. And I've been the psycho dad when she's brought boyfriends round, and I'm sitting there with a small wood chopping axe in my living room, sharpening it. And I've scared people.
The hatchet.
Dude, I have scared them off. Like, I've made sure of it. But now she's learned to, if it means something, she'll introduce them to dad, and her current boyfriend's awesome, right? So cool. I'm very, very proud of her. And my middle 2 girls, they're amazing, creative little, gifted little souls, and they're going to grow up to be little savages as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's a good thing to. So I really feel like there should be a lot more.
Are they Glaswegian? Will they be Glaswegian?
No,
women? Is that? I don't know. I don't know.
No, we're on this side of the wall, right? So there needs to be a lot more Krav Maga in high schools, right? Why is that just not an option? Right, Krav Maga is one of the only martial arts in the world that isn't a sport. It's not based on a point system. It was developed during the war for one specific group of people to defend themselves from a very bad group of people. And why is that not an option? Why can, like, girls, young teenage girls, right? Basketball, volleyball, cricket, or lifelong skill that will maybe keep you safe and give you confidence in a way that nothing else can, knowing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why is that not a thing? I don't get it.
Yeah.
If you want, I don't know what your usual content is. Sam and Bobby's like, oh yeah, sure, I'm down. But if you want to have like a much deeper discussion about this type of stuff and protection of girls and like the stats to it, I could introduce you to Jim Schmidt. Jim is Gabby's stepdad, and he's got all the domestic violence records, research. They've helped pass laws, and he and I like talk about it all the time. Right. And he would be a great resource for you.
You know, I'm gonna play something for you now, right? Yeah, because I think rather than sitting explaining it to you, so for years on YouTube, I infiltrated criminal organizations, groups that were pro child contact, shall we say, exposed them, shut down tens of thousands of dark websites,
Amazing.
put people in jail, exposed them, done all of this, right? And I'm about to relaunch all of this Friday, right? But I have to relaunch it in a way where it's not the norm. It's not going to be a YouTube channel. When we do a podcast episode, it will go out on multiple channels all at once, so that the evils in the world can't stop the message. We have to unite and be an idea that spreads and it can be united. Now, what you're about to see is the first 3 minutes, which is the message behind what we're doing. All right. And like I say, this is you're here for a reason, and I want to show you this. So everybody say thank you to Justin, because his presence and me wanting to make sure he sees this is why this is happening right now and happening early. So
is this an exclusive, Ron?
This is beyond an exclusive. Okay. Right? This is
world. This
is, and I just want to say, for any reason, if you need to clip anything or come back and grab a bit of this to show someone, this whole movement is for everyone to spread. There's no copyright claiming. There's no this is ours. It isn't ours. It's the collective united front against the destruction of innocence is what this is. So, no big deal.
No big deal. No big whoop. No big whoop.
You would wait and watch from far away. You always knew that you'd be the one that was right there. You lay awake at night and scared of all the things that you would change, but it was just you. We are don't turn away. We are the warriors that build this town. We are don't turn away. We are the warriors that build this town. From the
So that is the passion that is about to be
incredible.
That is very. I love that. I love that.
That was very good.
There is a full version of this that's being produced. That's the 3 minutes that you've got to have before the live stream, so it's cut down. There's no information about where to watch or anything like that. The full version is 16 minutes long. It goes into the statement, the idea, the mission, and how I plan to unite everyone, right, for one cause, with no name, no no YouTube channel, no social media. It's not something that can be misrepresented. We are united as one, and I can't freaking wait, yo. And I need to say, I want to build this so that channels can come to us once they've seen the work we're doing and be part every week, grow the amount of channels that put out our episodes live. Because I don't want your ad revenue. I don't want anything. I want you to help me unite the world through your followers, your channels, your local businesses, everything. And this is it. This is it, guys. This is the one. This is the one.
There's definitely some people I need to introduce you to.
Yeah, and I just want you to know this is the real deal. Just to put it in perspective.
I love it.
Yeah. What's very interesting. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Justin.
What's very interesting about the timing of this and what you just showed me is 2 nights ago. Okay, so obviously you're in Scotland, so I don't know how much American news you get. I know that Samson's well aware of everything going on in the United States right now. And one of the issues that we have with immigration is they are rounding up our Native Americans and detaining them for periods of time. Because there's a myriad of different reasons. They ultimately let them go once you can prove, but they'll be speaking Navajo or Dene or Apache or whatever, which doesn't really sound like Spanish, which is what they're typically going after. And so I had one of the top attorneys in the country who works with Native Americans. I had a woman who her niece was actually detained, a Navajo whose niece was actually detained, and another gentleman, Navajo, who witnessed several, ICE detaining several, Navajo. But I bring this up because one thing about Native Americans, and Sam, I don't even know if you know this, there's a thing in MMIW, missing and murdered Indigenous women, and just people in general. Their S abuse rate is in like the 86th percentile for women. They disappear. Because of tribal land versus federal jurisdictions, you can't search for them. Somebody asked her name. Her name is Darlene Gomez.
Justin, I'm going to blow your mind with something right now.
Yeah, so go for it.
I'm going to say something to you that I wouldn't be saying unless I had receipts. Okay.
Yeah.
So when we say the spiritual world, we've got a group of individuals who, one of which has been working for 45 years, has NDAs with governments, works with some of the most insane secret tests for psychic abilities. And last year, we used her collective group to locate 2 missing women and have them liberated just through their minds, brother. Right now, I can prove all this. And our movement consists of security groups, Navy SEALs, active security agents who go to these places and work alongside law enforcement to liberate these people. And it's the real deal. I know it sounds mental, right? So when we say
literally, no pun intended.
The real world is the physical world. The digital world is me and my group of ghosts. And then we have the spiritual realm, because when you talk about people who are missing and you can't go into the land, that's another reason we've been united, because the way that these very gifted people do the searches is through a grid, through a map, and with a name and a birthday. And usually we don't have a grid to search. We have to start with a wide berth. And if you want to put things to the test, I'm sure there's individuals that would be happy to show you just how insane.
Well, I can tell you, Darlene, the attorney I was talking about, there is one of her good friends that's been missing for 26 years, and only 2 or 3 years ago did they finally start looking for her.
Wow.
It's because she's Native American. It's a very large issue that we don't know about.
Is ICE mistaking Native Americans as Latinos?
I believe
that is what is going on, or are they aware they're Native American and still questioning their immigration?
All that matters is it part of a mission statement we don't know about? Okay.
So I guess here's what I can tell you is that I know is going on, and I can just give you the facts, and you can surmise what you want from it. When speaking with the Navajo people I was able to speak with, that was a TikTok live. I will commit to uploading this live. to YouTube, so people can go watch it. But and you can watch it, and I'll let you know when it's up. But when I was speaking to them, they believe they're being targeted because their skin is more brown. Now here's where the other part of this comes in. There is something called a CIB, which is a Certificate of Indian Blood. It's a federal document. You know, it's not. I've seen it. I didn't even know it existed until recently, so I don't think it's something that's
CIB. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, Certificate of Indian Blood. It's federal. So these people are showing their CIBs. They're showing, you know, their IDs, and they're still being detained. There was like very, very early on in the raids, there was a group of 8 of them detained where their phones were taken from them. They were kept for several hours.
Wow.
They weren't able to call their families. They weren't able to contact their tribes. And then for a lot of these people, because of all the stuff that the presidents of like the Navajo Nation and the Apache Nation and all the different, you know, I mean, there's 500 something tribes registered, federally recognized tribes, but they're telling their people, hey, make sure you have ID on you. Make sure that you have this, keep this number in case you run into an issue as far as, you know, being detained and you're native. I mean, where are they going to deport them to, Samson?
Right. Yeah. Go back to your house right now.
go back to North Carolina, Tennessee.
Yeah, literally. It's crazy. Yeah.
You know, so
that's what's so crazy about it. It's just, and just the fact that in America, I mean, I'm Jewish, and it's just, you know, makes you think of the Holocaust when people had to wear a yellow triangle. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like, what are we doing? It's just, there has to be some in between on getting dangerous criminals out of our country, securing the borders.
There is. It's been in place for years. It's called actual immigration process. It's great.
Right.
It functions brilliantly, right?
Yeah.
And we have seen the use of mass immigration guised as people who are needing help. It's been the largest human transportation operation in Europe and in America that we've ever seen. You have no idea how many children fall off the lists in these scenarios.
Oh God,
and
can you imagine?
Things are hijacked. So my point with what Justin's saying is a hijacking of removal of certain individuals, and it's now being taped on with a further influence of what I would only say is racism by grabbing the native people of these lands and trying to remove them. It's wild. Listen,
and it's ignorance. It's
listen, statistically, if it happens once or twice and then they sort it out, right, brilliant. It was obviously an accident. But when we have a agenda that plays out, because data doesn't lie, and luckily my neurodiverse mind cares more about data than emotional attachment to the meaning of data, and data doesn't lie. And there's 2 things that put big worries for me on the safety of children. Earthquakes in third world countries, right? And mass immigration.
Why is that?
Forwards or backwards of people. An act of God in Haiti. What better way to sneak in as a helping hand and scoop up a bunch of orphan children? Say you've got collected 50 and 5,000 disappear.
I never thought about that.
I'm not saying that that's something that has already been proven and happens. I couldn't possibly say that because I'm not a lunatic on the internet.
It's allegedly, of course, yeah. But that would make sense. I never thought about that.
I had never thought about that either. And real quick, going back to your point, Sam, because I had there was an entire branch of our family exterminated at Auschwitz. The youngest of which was 11, and I have receipts for this. The youngest of which was 11. It was a family of 6, and then you hear like I actually got a news article pop up like the Guantanamo Bay, like it's an internment camp. Like that's what it is.
It's crazy.
Wait. Can I say? Again, I'm the pagan witch here, so I need to stop you when signs happen. Right?
Oh yeah, Justin, he's a pagan witch.
I'm no way comparing this to the traumas of that era and time that you've just mentioned, right? But most of my lineage in Ireland, which is my mother's side, were all burnt at the stake for witchcraft and almost wiped out. And it's interesting that we have a traumatic family history that I'm not saying are on the same scale in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying you've had family members whose lives were taken, right? So have I in my family's lineage. You have this mission to save children. You've written books about it, right?
Yeah.
I have that, okay? And for no other reason in the world, a man called Samson has united us Because let's be honest here, right? You've got quite a massive audience, and you've taken time out your day to come to our lovely little podcast and have a conversation.
Look over his right shoulder.
Like, here's the thing.
Yeah, that's
an anomaly.
Your TikTok,
in social media culture, the anomaly of somebody like yourself coming to talk to us is the oddity, right? Because usually numbers under names mean more than anything, and it's just a social culture that we face, right? So
I don't feel that way.
No, I get that. I'm not saying you are, but up against all of that, Justin, here we are at a crucial time in this world, on the last day of the worst month that we're going to have in 2025. And I think this is the start of something pretty incredible, because I get pretty good vibes.
Well, I appreciate that. And I hope so, because January has been the longest. This January has lasted 300 years.
I know. At least February is a short month.
There's a reason for it. I just need you to understand. I do not need you to believe in any of the stuff that I talk about that I recall as witchcraft. I just need you to believe that I believe it, Justin. Okay? I need you to believe that I believe it. That's all. That's all I need. Okay? Because when we start this whole thing, no religion, lifestyle, orientation, pronoun, class, whatever, will not be wanted. It's a united thing. And listen, we have to keep it at a tight hour this evening.
Yeah. What are we at? We are at about an hour.
Yeah. But listen, two things. Justin, all about your books. I would love to do a proper big main Showtime podcast on this with this channel, and bring a few people in, because I think the book side of you is incredible, right? And I would love to do that, because I think we can sell a lot of books on the surprises are okay. That I guarantee you, when I hear more about that or look it up online, I know I'm probably going to be able to get behind that 1,000,000%. And I would love to do a big push for this, because that's, if we can get information over, you've seen that advert, educate, right? And I would love to make that one thing that we even push as this grows, because
I could place another order from my publisher. I was just waiting for, because you can get it on Amazon, but I tend to be able to do better, and then I can sign them if I do it. And for the record, since you're in Scotland, it is on Amazon UK as well.
Sweet. Oh, cool. Well, listen, when I have ideas like this, I want you to come up with the way to do this that works out best for you, right?
Okay, we can chat about it.
If it's versions of the book that are produced cheaper and are sold cheaper, but you do better from it, the message is what's important, if that makes sense. And there's just loads. The Sean Atwood channel has a publishing company and has audiobooks and things like that. So maybe an audiobook would be something that you should consider as well for that.
Yeah, maybe so.
Because story time for a lot of kids is sort of disintegrated, and having that as an option for the parents that go with the tablet story times should be out.
Yeah, that's true. Audio, it's somebody else reading it. The parents are too lazy. I remember times I would be too lazy to read to my kids. I'm like,
wait. In fact, have a think about that, because if you scratch my back, I could help you just create that as something for your YouTube, that you're making the revenue off of the audiobook, and that is what parents are using. That's an idea, and I'm a nerd. Oh, look, I just want to say that's my beautiful fiance. No, not Tammy, Danielle. My beautiful fiance. How are you, my love? We're just about to end the show.
Tiny. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Danielle.
Yeah, we've got a beautiful new baby girl called Nova. And yeah. So listen, tomorrow when you wake up, Justin, I'm going to have Sam connect us in a WhatsApp group. Okay.
Okay.
So that we've got that point of contact, and then we can, because of time zones, treat it like a digital fridge that we're leaving post-it notes on, and we'll get a plan together. I'll show you the next stage of this market in the full 16-minute version, and then that'll show you the full mission, and then you can decide how in or out you want to be. And I'm excited.
And thank you to the side chat. We love the side chat. There was
side chat. Listen, you are the warriors. Side chat. There'll be a new Discord. Okay, when this all launches, I'm wanting this as soon as the message gets out simultaneously with everyone involved. There's going to be a central hub to get everybody into a place where we can start making a movement. And we're not going to have, like I said, we're not going to have channels. We're going to have 4 official links for support. We're going to offer all of the stuff that you're going to unite under for free. imagery, QR tags, ways to be noticed if you're supporting us. And we want to create something where if monsters, PDF files who live in our areas see this symbol growing, I want this to haunt their dreams. But there's so many sets of eyes watching out for the safety of children around the world now that this symbol will represent all of them.
Right, it's like a security camera watching you.
And like I say, we won't have a name, we won't have a location. So being found and being taken down is something that I am not worried about. And this goes out on 5 channels simultaneously. On the 7th, me, myself, Beverly Rhodes, and the one and only big homie CC, we are the faces of this. There is an AI creation that represents the children that have been lost. There's a ghost team, 12 of them, and they're represented by a anonymous voice because they all have to be anonymous. And we have to present this in a way that it can't be weaponized against us on YouTube. So the Discord is going to be preeminent. And the Thursday night before episode 1, at midnight, in that Discord I create, and you'll all know everything. Everyone will have the information they need ahead of time. Assemble there for a very, very special announcement ahead of episode 1, and get ready for the revolution, because this is it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you to Justin. Thank you to Samson. Thank you to the Atwood family. Thank you to the side chat and the mods. I love you guys.
Love you too. Follow me on YouTube, guys.